Author Neil Gaiman was born in Hampshire, United Kingdom on November 10, 1960. Gaiman described himself growing up as a feral child who was raised in libraries, and said, "I wouldn't be who I am without libraries." His passion for reading led him to pursue writing as a career, and the works of Lewis Carroll, J.R.R. Tolkien, and C.S. Lewis all had a very evident influence on his writing. One of Gaiman's largest early successes was the dark fantasy comic book series, The Sandman, which was about a coven of wizards that attempt to end death by taking the endless, known as death, captive, but capture dream instead. The Sandman series was not only one of the first graphic novels to be on the New York Times bestseller list, but it also was awarded the World Fantasy Award in 1991 for Best Short Fiction, making it the first comic book to be awarded a literary award. Gaiman's work on this series is often regarded as a watershed moment in comic book history due to its ability to appeal to young and mature readers alike, and gave comic books a sense of credibility as literary art.
I loved what I was doing, but it never felt like I was doing anything particularly earth-shattering because I didn't really see it changing things. What I think I'd failed to notice was that the people who would read it and change things and do stuff were still reading it. It wasn't like, a lot of them were still at school or still at university or whatever, and they were going to come along later. But no, it's one of those wonderful things to have done in retrospect. I think if I'd thought it was big and clever and important while it was going on, I probably wouldn't have been anywhere near as good, and I certainly wouldn't have written it as fast or as comfortably.
Since writing The Sandman, Gaiman has had a tremendous amount of success, including 4 Hugo Awards and 2 of his books being adapted into feature films.
So,
Coraline,
you're back. And you brought Vermin with you?
No. I brought a friend.
You know I love you.
You have a very funny way of showing it.
and Stardust. In Coraline, a story that has often been compared to C.S. Lewis's Alice in Wonderland, Coraline discovers a door in her home that leads to an alternate universe where she has other parents that, unlike her real parents, give her their undevoted attention. Unfortunately, her other mother won't let her leave. In addition, Stardust is about a man who travels to a magical land in order to take a living, breathing star against her will to a young woman he is in love with. These two books, along with The Sandman, perfectly demonstrate Gaiman's reoccurring themes of love, family, and captivity. Themes that he continued to display in his later successes, The Graveyard Book and American Gods. Through these themes, Gaiman often poses deep philosophical questions to the readers, questions that have spurred discussions among his passionate fans and even inspired the creation of the book Neil Gaiman and Philosophy, Gods Gone Wild, a collection of essays from 18 philosophers dissecting the themes and ideas within Gaiman's rich stories.